has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Well, the baseball game's about to start, so what better time to start talking about Pain Day NFL fallout from the games on Sunday. We've already talked about how bad the Sunday night game was, but I didn't have a problem with the Sunday afternoon games. I thought they were delicious, particularly the game in Vegas I enjoyed greatly.
Yeah, I thought the game in Vegas would be your favorite one of the day with how that one turned out. And
you should have heard my language.
Yes, we, of course, will be watching this and keeping everybody up to date with the Mets and the Dodgers as they get ready for game number 2 out in L.A. Steelers beat the Raiders 32-13. Big performance by the Steelers. Defense played great. 2 touchdowns for Justin Fields. Najee Harris got in the end zone for the first time, which we had on the board on Friday, so that was good to see. Here is Mike Tomlin afterwards, Scotty. Of course, very happy to get back in the win column.
Can't say enough about TJ that hadn't already been said in terms of his ability to impact the game in a variety of ways. It is special. We're not surprised by it, but it's still special. I thought penalties slowed us down some, particularly early in the game. Self-inflicted wounds, holding calls, and things of that nature kind of stopped the fluidity in which we were moving the ball. I thought once we got over that, we were playing the style of ball that we desired to play. Just really appreciative of getting back on track and handling our business and winning, because that's what this business is about.
Look, that's great and everything. I saw the game differently. I saw 2 things. I thought Harris had a big game. He had a big 36-yard tutty down the sideline. He ran for over 100 yards on 14 carries, and he was very physical. And then the other thing was I had him on a prop over 10.5 yards. That was quick money. And then the other thing I noticed was how good Fields was. Fields made so many plays with his feet. He got out of that pocket, ran for a tutty, ran for another one. I mean, the guy was all over the end zone and all over the field, making first downs, rushing, getting outside, cutting back, breaking ankles, getting first downs that way. He was in trouble several times behind the line of scrimmage and still busted off 15-yard runs and everything else. I think what he did, for my money, Fields solidified that job, Mike. He's the starting quarterback of the Steelers. There's no way they can go to Russell Wilson, who never plays, with his broken down body and calf, the way this guy's playing. That was a great game. 2 tutties. He threw for 145. He didn't need to throw the ball. And when he did throw the ball, he threw strikes to Pickens and others. He made plays left and right to Austin. You name it. Fields is the Steelers' starting quarterback, and Najee had a huge game. And their defense is sick. And I thought the Raiders, they're awful. Aiden O'Connell is awful. Minshew's better than him. Any way you slice it. But he stinks too. So they stink. Their team stinks. Crosby can shove whoever he wants. He's a great player, but they have nothing else. That's a terrible football team.
Aiden O'Connell is he's not a starting NFL quarterback. He's just not. You can't. I don't care what you would put around him. He is not a starting quarterback in this league. And as far as I saw one of the Steeler guys, one of the guys who covers the Steelers, I think it was this morning, tweet out, they do like a little bit of a breakdown. And I guess the right side of the Steeler line was having some trouble yesterday. Why? Because Max Crosby's over there. There was like 5 or 6 plays that this person broke down that if Russ was back there, probably doesn't get away, and it ends up being sacks or things like that. And because of Fields' elusiveness and his mobility, he turned all 6 of those plays into positive gains for the Steelers. Whereas if it was Russ back there or even guys in the past, they probably would have been sacks and the guys would have been crushed. So if that guy's seeing that, you know that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers staff is seeing that when they're watching the film as well. I'm with you. I think that solidifies Fields for a while. I don't think there should be any question for the next few weeks about who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Steelers. Fields has that job going forward.
Bro,
Next,
he
let's
ran
go
for
to
almost 60 yards, a 5-yard average, and 2 tutties. He had an 18-yard run. I mean, Harris had the 36-yarder down the sideline. The way they ran the ball and the way he got out of trouble, Russell Wilson could never do that. I won't deny Russell probably throws the ball with more accuracy and takes better chances deep than Fields does. But as far as I'm concerned, when he's called upon to throw it, he's been throwing ropes. And look, I think their offense is vanilla. I think their play calling is vanilla. But they've always said they were going to be a smash-mouth, run-first football team. And you're getting that. And then when they're passing, if they pass it, so be it. If he's in trouble, he takes off running and gets first down and scores touchdowns. How many touchdowns does this guy have to have running the ball? And it's like every game he has one. And you're going to go back to this other broken down Chevy? Are you kidding me? Fields is the starter. Stop with all the bullshit in Pittsburgh. Fields is the starter. That's it. It's over.
No doubt. Next to Dallas, where for the 4th straight home game, the Cowboys get absolutely smoked at home, 47-9 by the Lions yesterday. They had all the bags of tricks out, including this flea flicker to Sam Laporta, who also, like Najee, was on the card on Friday, Scotty, on Fox.
Get into that in a second. Oh, here's a little trickery. St. Brown back to God. Flea flicker's got Laporta wide open. Sam Laporta, foot race towards the end zone, diving, touchdown. Unreal. Turn to page 140, flea flicker.
Come on, if you're not having fun watching that, you don't have a heartbeat.
So Carver High hit 3 props yesterday with tutties. The Tutty King was out again in full force. Laporta being one, Najee, and what was the other one? It was
McLaurin.
McLaren for the Commanders. Great day of prop hitting, great day of betting, and it was just fantastic. I got to tell you, I have no problem at all, and I was all over the Lions on this show Friday saying they're going to kick their ass by double digits, and they did that, but I never thought it'd be 47-9. I mean, that to me put the Cowboys in their place. I mean, they are who we thought they were. That's who they are. A team that can't win at home, a team that they've given up 167 points in those 4 games. I mean, they are getting smoked like a doobie. They're awful. They are not winning anything again this year. That's done. I mean, the odds of Jerry Jones getting to his casket before they ever see another Super Bowl are greater than them winning one. I can guarantee you that.
I got to tell you, I'm surprised. I thought Jerry would chop him today. I really thought that Jerry would chop McCarthy because it's the kind of losses that they're having at their own building would lead to that. Here he was yesterday after the game saying he wasn't going to do it. I really thought he would have slept on it and changed his mind. He says he has no intention of firing Mike McCarthy.
What would it take you to evaluate making a head coaching change in season?
I haven't even considered that. I'm not considering that. Just so you're clear, I'm not considering that.
But you've done it
I wouldn't be a hypothetical in that matter. Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you?
Oh.
Okay, well, I'm not going hypothetical with you about when I'd consider coaching change in light of the timing we're sitting here with. I'm not.
There you have it. Well, look, I think McCarthy's pants are on fire. I mean, it's that simple. So, and I really don't believe that Bill Belichick is the answer to every single coaching problem. It's so stale. I mean, this guy is finally having fun in life. He's dating some 24-year-old chick. He's got like 10 television jobs. He's laughing, having a blast, doing commercials, making a fortune. And he doesn't have to deal with being a head coach and losing NFL games. All you have to do is watch guys like Sirianni. Guy went and shaved his head. He's so stressed out. My man is so stressed out, he's arguing with fans on the sideline. He is doomed in Philly. Doomed. That guy is as good as fired in Philly because he's starting up with fans now.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the one. Obviously, Terrence Shannon Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I do think they come back, and I think they win this game, but they've got to do it decisively. I think they've got to get that confidence back because they went out there, and like I said earlier, Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Kentucky almost did beat Ole Miss, and I think what you're going to see in this conference, if you don't play well and you're a top 10 team in the SEC, you're going to get knocked out by one of those top 25 teams in the SEC if you're not ready to play.
Powered by SportsGrid.
So Lindor fought off a bunch of pitches, Mike, and then hit a home run. So the Mets are up 1-0 already and 1 out. And there you have it. They're underway in the top of the first, and the Mets are already on the board. Now, that Lions game yesterday in Dallas had a significant fallout despite the win. They got, deals done with Montgomery, and then at the end of the day, they lost their best defensive player. He's done for the year.
Yeah, they certainly did. So two things there. David Montgomery had 2 touchdowns in that game for the Lions. Before the game, 2-year extension worth $18.25 million. So that gets him, I think, about 11 in guaranteed money as well. So good job by him there. The bad news is Aiden Hutchinson. Broken tibia, real ugly scene on the field. Of course, they carted him off, took him straight to the hospital, and gave him surgery. Now, they can tell you all they want. I saw them today in their press release and Campbell that there's no timetable for his return. We'll give you the timetable on Coast to Coast. He's probably not playing again this year. Okay, that's the timetable. When you break your tibia, that's not a good situation. So bad news for them because Hutchinson was having a great year, Scotty, and he's such an anchor of that line.
Well, look at Conor McGregor. He broke his tibia and fibula, and he still hasn't fought. It's been almost 2 years. I don't believe Aiden Hutchinson will be 2 years, but I don't believe he's playing this year.
I don't believe that he's playing this year. Yeah, next year he'll be back, but I think it's very tough to see him in the next 3 to 5 months getting back out there on the football
field. Coming off of that?
It's just very difficult. The early morning London game saw the Bears embarrass the Jags. And, man, the Jags, they really suck. I got fooled on this one. I couldn't believe how awful they played. Once again in this game, Bears completely beat them up, 35-16. Williams had the bunch. What did he have? 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Komet, 2 to Keenan Allen. So huge day for him. Travis Etienne, week to week with a hamstring injury. They're pathetic, the Jags. And they should still be asking Peterson questions about if he's going to have a job because they look like they don't even care anymore out on the field.
They should have lost the Colts game. They were up 2 touchdowns with 5 minutes left, and Flacco threw 2 huge tutties to Pierce, and they tied the game, and then somehow the Jags kicked a game-winning field goal and got lucky. I told you they got lucky. And then Friday I told you the Bears defense is too good to not stop the Jaguars' anemic offense. And they did exactly that. And then Caleb Williams did the rest. 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Allen, 2 of them to Komet. I thought Caleb Williams looked fantastic in the pocket. There's no way of getting around it. I still think, for my money, I like Jaden Daniels better, but I will commend what Caleb Williams is turning into. He is big, strong, and has an arm, and if he stays in that pocket and they protect him, he can be very dangerous.
By the way, Brazier walked Nimmo, and then Alonso hit into a double play to end the inning. So they go into the bottom of the first in Los Angeles, 1-0 on the Lindor home run. Next, Texans beat up the Patriots 41-21 in Foxborough. Now, their defense is pathetic, the Patriots, but I'll say this, Scotty. I don't think May looked that bad. He was 20 for 33 with 243, 3 tutties. He did throw a couple of picks. But, God, unlike when Brissett was in there, at least they moved the football a little bit, which they were not doing the first 5 games of the season.
Listen, his 42-yard bomb was a breadbasket pass. It was beautiful. And there's no denying he's got an arm and he's got legs. He can play. And he was running for first downs. He did it all, just like as advertised. And I've already given you my feelings on Jacoby Brissett. In my opinion, he is nothing more than a backup and never will be anything more than that. And I've never thought he was that good. Everyone loves Jacoby Brissett. I don't. I'm not falling for it. So at least they know who their quarterback is now, but they still stink. And again, I thought it was easy money with the Texans yesterday, laying the points at Gillette, and I hit that game too.
The Ravens with the win over Washington in Baltimore, 30-23. Another big day for Derrick Henry on the ground. Not once, but twice into the end zone on CBS.
Now Washington brings everyone down, Jim. Look at how many guys are right here. 2nd and 5. He still face that with power, with Henry, with a touchdown. Great call, Tony. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Look, Mike, they until someone can stop Henry and Lamar, they are going to keep winning. And, Flowers was unbelievable as well. But if Washington looked bad, which they didn't, they lost by 7. The spread was 6.5. It was a pretty good game as advertised. I think the only team that gives them problems are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they're playing them November 17th, and I'm going to the game in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers have always had kind of their number. And they've given Lamar fits, and we'll see if they can stop Lamar and Henry. The both of them are a pain in the ass. If you can't stop them, you will lose to them. I still think they'll win the North, and the Steelers, if they win like they usually do under Tomlin, would be a wild card. The Steelers keep winning, they're going to be a wild card. I mean, they got it last year, and they weren't even good. This is a decent Steeler team, and I think, you know what? Fields is doing a job. If you ask me, if they can do what they did yesterday, if they could go out every week and have 32 points, literally, which they can't. They'll go out and lay eggs left and right. But even when they lost, they had that game against the Colts. They had the ball with 2.5 minutes left, and they had the lead against the Cowboys and blew it, which their defense blew it on 4th down with 20 seconds left. I mean, they could literally be unbeaten right now, 6-0. But they're not. They're 4-2. But I still think they're a wild card, but I think the Ravens win that North because of Derrick Henry. If Henry's healthy and Lamar's healthy, the Ravens are literally, their running game is unstoppable.
Unstoppable indeed. I mean, everybody said this guy was washed. 132, 92, 199, 151. That's the last 4 games. He has a touchdown in every game this season. He's got 2 in 2 of their games. Nothing washed about what Henry's done.
He's a badass. He's the best back in the league.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the what? Obviously, Terrence Shannon Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I do think they come back, and I think they win this game, but they've got to do it decisively. I think they've got to get that confidence back because they went out there, and like I said earlier, Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Kentucky almost did beat Ole Miss, and I think what you're going to see in this conference, if you don't play well and you're a top 10 team in the SEC, you're going to get knocked out by one of those top 25 teams in the SEC if you're not ready to play.
Powered by SportsGrid.
I got to be honest with you, Mike. I thought the Eagles looked pathetic. I mean, you'd think they could blow out the Browns as bad as they've been, and they could barely shake them. And, I mean, they win 20-16, but I really thought they looked average. And if I'm in Philly, I'm very concerned about the Eagles. And I'll tell you what, this guy, Nick Sirianni's digging his own grave. I have never seen a guy literally do what he did yesterday. He was arguing with fans on the sideline. This is the head coach of the team. He went from the front of the field on the sideline to back by the stands and started arguing with fans. Then, when the game was over, this guy shows up at the press conference with his entire cast of children. All of his kids he brought to the press conference so he wouldn't have to answer any questions that were tough about his job. And that's exactly what he did. And it was amateur hour. I have never seen a guy show up with all of his little kids at the press conference when he knows that he's been arguing with fans all day and he's going to get heat for it. And I think he's doomed in Philadelphia. I do not believe that guy can keep his job as coach of the Eagles. I think he's as good as fired.
I agree with you. I thought it was all extremely bizarre. First of all, we talked about this Friday. The Browns have been pathetic. All right, you had a team coming off a bye.
We thrive off the crowd when they cheer for us. That's all I'll say. Like when our crowd cheers for us, we thrive off them. And we hear them when they boo. We don't necessarily like it. I don't think that's productive for anybody. But when they cheer for us and when we got them rolling, we love it.
And what's the deal with him shaving his head? Like, what's going on there? Like, is he doing that for somebody in the hospital? He did it like as a statement, like a defiance statement. There's no reason for that guy to shave his head. Like, he looks like he's losing his mind in Philly. And I'll tell you what, it is that kind of a market. We have talked about it before. They are very hostile. They do not, they've already turned on him. The Eagles fans do not like Nick Sirianni. And once that kind of evolution took place, you know what I mean? Like that they don't like him, you're doomed. He's doomed in Philly. And I think Lurie knows it. I think Howie Roseman knows it. And I think the media knows it. I know John Kincaid knows it. I don't even have to ask him. You cannot challenge fans in that market, in that town, and live to talk about it because they're not winning the Super Bowl. So anything short of a Super Bowl win, he's fired.
I don't disagree. I think he's going to be out, especially. I don't think it's going to end anywhere
I'm
close
surprised
to
he didn't
that.
get fired last year when they melted like an ice cream cone, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that was very possible. I'm going to save Stefanski stuff for you for tomorrow because it was even more testy today with him. I'll just tell you, he said afterwards that he's sticking with Deshaun Watson, which, as you probably know from watching every game this year, is nonsense. He's awful. But it got a little more testy today. So I'm going to save it, and I'll probably play you Stefanski tomorrow on Coast to Coast. Darius Slate did leave the game with a knee injury for the Eagles, so that's bad news for them as well. We'll come back, and we'll get into the rest of these. Packers with the win, Bucks with the win. We've got to get to the Chargers as well, that great Giant Bengal game that we had at night. So we will go through all of that as we continue on this hour. Mets get the leadoff man on. Single for Marte in the top of the second as they are looking to extend here.
Let me say this before we break. Baker Mayfield is really a badass. I mean, did you see what this guy did yesterday on Bourbon Street? Lighting them up like that. What a performance.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the one. Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I do think they come back, and I think they win this game, but they've got to do it decisively. I think they've got to get that confidence back because they went out there, and like I said earlier, Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Kentucky almost did beat Ole Miss, and I think what you're going to see in this conference, if you don't play well and you're a top 10 team in the SEC, you're going to get knocked out by one of those top 25 teams in the SEC if you're not ready to play.
Powered by SportsGrid.
Fascinated me, Carver High, how these baseball players spit. Through the years, back in the day, they all dipped and they all chewed Red Man, bubble gum, whatever, and they just spit like hundreds of times, each player, hundreds of times a game. Now, I will, walk the dog or whatever in New York, and I'll spit probably, I'd say 10 times, maybe in the walk, a 15-minute walk, I'd say 10 spits. But I've never seen anything like how these guys spit like every 3 seconds. It is amazing to me how much they spit, like even in the dugout. Like I just saw Dave Roberts spit 7 times in less than 10 seconds. I mean, he was spitting like his mouth was filled with water. You would have thought he was drowning. He spit so many times. I've never seen anything like how much these guys spit. It's truly amazing to me. Watch them. You sit here, they'll spit 6,000 times all day between the two teams. It really is crazy. All right. We're still talking about pain day. It never ends.
Pain day never ends. Packers beat the Cardinals 34-13, 4 touchdown passes for Jordan Love in that game. Marvin Harrison Jr. did leave with a concussion for Arizona, so bad news on that side of things. You mentioned the Bucs, 51-27. They beat the Saints. Baker Mayfield, 325 and 4 tutties in this game. Now, it was tight going into the second half, 27-24 game, but the Bucs were actually down 27-24 going into the half. Second half, all Bucs. Baker getting it going to Chris Godwin on Fox.
Fake it to Irving. Out to Godwin. In space, and he picks up the first down and pinballs his way inside the 40 and off to the races. Chris Godwin's second touchdown of the day, and Tampa Bay is back out in front.
You do not want any part of this team in the playoffs. You play them, you're going to have your hands full. They just keep coming at you. They just keep throwing it. And they can run it too. Your boy Bucky, right? They do it all, and no one can stop Evans or Godwin, either one of them. Otten, I love this team. I think Baker Mayfield is an absolute badass. I think he is a game-changing, a winner. He just gets it done. That's just all there is to it. He's a stud. What a deal for them, $100 million for that arm, for that guy, the way he plays. He is onions out. He goes all the way to the wall. I love this guy. I really do. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, and I guess when you consider what other guys are getting paid,
right.
a value at the
really
quarterback
is.
position.
The blue light special, Mike.
Everybody's getting. They're 4-2 now, by the way, tied with Atlanta at the top of the NFC South there. And I believe they're getting together again next week. You know, they played that Thursday night game. And I know they meet again in short order, 2 weeks, Week 8 is when the Falcons and the Bucs get together again after that great Thursday night game a week ago. Olave left the game with a concussion for the Saints as well. Lots of concussions yesterday around the league.
There's a double down the corner. You got runs pouring in.
What do we got here?
We got runs pouring in.
So this was obviously Tyrone Taylor with the double for the Mets. As I'm seeing it now, down the left field corner. Did they get 1 or 2 on this?
Just one
run
Marte scored. They got the other runners on second and third, 1 out.
Well, I wouldn't have sent Winker either after what he did last night on the bases. I'm sure they didn't want that adventure again.
He's very white.
Remember we got
very white.
Caught between second and third. Unbelievable. Colts beat the Titans 20-17. Why? Because Joe Flacco started, right? I guess Flacco started the game.
Honestly.
And the Colts won 20-17.
I mean, honestly.
Now, Steichen said today Richardson is healthy and he's going to start this week. I get it. He's your guy you drafted and you want to play him, but Flacco's been so good. And the Colts win again with that. Before I get into the Ridley stuff.
He's better than Richardson. That's it. He's a winner. The guy knows what he's doing. He's a veteran that knows how to win NFL games, and he throws perfect dimes all over the field. It's amazing watching Flacco play. And I told you, he should have won the Jaguar game, and he did win this game. And I've also said over and over, I don't know how many times I got to say it, Will Levis is trash. He is trash. He is horrible. I would play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in 5 seconds over that hack. That's a backup if I've ever seen one. That guy, he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. I don't disagree with you. Stunning watching him play yesterday. He stinks. He threw for 95 yards in that game. Will Levis, 95 yards. Now I got to play it, is this Calvin Ridley. So remember when Calvin Ridley took more money to go to Tennessee in the offseason and everybody kind of scratched their head like, what the hell's Calvin Ridley doing? Like, why are you going to go play with Will Levis? Why are you going to go to Tennessee? You know, you could have went somewhere else and actually
blame
football.
yourself.
Yeah, no catches yesterday. He was targeted 8 times. Most of them were in the fourth quarter. Let's just say he wants to be more involved early in the game.
What was kind of off that resulted in targets but no catches?
I had targets in what part of the game I had targets?
Fourth quarter, a lot of them.
All right, then. So I need some in the beginning of the game, too, then. Like, getting crazy for me. So I'm just, it is what it is. But I suck today. I got to be better. But I got to get the ball a little early in the game so I can be in the game and here with the team so I can play well also.
Did you expect to get targets early? Just kind of
I don't know. We just, we trying to win the game. But
yeah, that's a guy that's miserable, and his quarterback sucks, and he doesn't throw him the ball when he wants it. He wants the ball from the jump, and he went there. But, blame yourself. You went to a team, you took the money to go to a team that doesn't have a quarterback, and that means trouble. All you have to do is look at Vegas, look at Tennessee, and you can see why they don't win, because neither one of them have quarterbacks.
Don't win. Don't have a quarterback, you don't win. Chargers off the bye, get a win in Denver, 23-16. Justin Herbert, we played that clip on Friday about him wanting to get the offense going. What did he do, Scotty? I see you looking. Did Vientos is up with the bases loaded here and 2 outs after they walked Lindor. What do we got for Vientos here? Something big? Nothing
he's
yet?
Still 2-2. So, the crowd's on their feet. It's 2-2. Bases
crowd's
loaded.
On their feet.
He's been one of their best players over the last couple months. So, this is a gigantic opportunity. It's 2-2.
Huge.
And he popped up.
Huge
but I think it's in the seats. It's in the seats. Muncie can't get it. It's in the seats. So he's still alive.
Well, let's play the Herbert touchdown, and we'll see what happens with him. Herbert getting it going on CBS yesterday.
Averaging just 22 pass attempts per game. This is his 11th pass of the first quarter, and he's got an open man on the wheel route. It's the rookie, Kamani Vidal, his first NFL touch.
Vidal Sassoon with the tutty, Carver High. Your boy, Sassoon.
Yeah. That was if you had that one on your bingo card, that would have been a very nice payout for your boy Kamani. That was a good number for him. Of course, the other news from this game was Harbaugh, who went to the locker room early in this game, early in the first quarter. Heart arrhythmia, Scotty. So I guess Jim wasn't feeling good, went in the back, got himself taken care of, and then came back out.
He had the flutter going. Listen.
He had the flutter.
I don't mess around with the heart problems. Believe me, I know all about it. So it's scary stuff. And when you start tripping and your heart's missing beats or you're having an exploded heart like I had and both valves blew up my heart, it is scary stuff. I couldn't breathe. I was like, what is happening? I can't breathe. Something's wrong with me, right? Oh, a drive, grand slam. The humanity, Vientos, the humanity of it all. Oh, wow. Mafia just jumped off the roof. Oh, the G-spot, the grand slam, breakfast, Carver High on a 2-2 after fouling 2 off. Woo! It's like last night's game, 9-0. It's 6-0. Metropolitan.
Third homer of the playoffs for Vientos. Grand slam, making it 6-0. Mets. Wow, look out.
Yeah,
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the 1. Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I do think they come back, and I think they win this game, but they've got to do it decisively. I think they've got to get that confidence back because they went out there, and like I said earlier, Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Kentucky almost did beat Ole Miss, and I think what you're going to see in this conference, if you don't play well and you're a top 10 team in the SEC, you're going to get knocked out by one of those top 25 teams in the SEC if you're not ready to play.
Powered by SportsGrid.
I just keep making money betting against the Panthers. Again yesterday, big ticket on the Falcons. I had the Steelers going hard, and it was a good day. Atlanta got it done on the road easily.
They certainly did, 38-20. They messed around for maybe a half, and then in the second half, they were able to take control of the game and win by 18. Nice cover there for them. You already described how tough the Sunday night football game was between the Bengals and the Giants. This was a game, 10-7, late in the fourth. In fact, the Giants missed a field goal, Scotty. Then they came back down and missed on fourth down. Then the Bengals finally put the game away with Chase Brown on NBC.
2nd and 3. Inside run. They'll score more than 10. Chase Brown to the house for a Cincinnati touchdown.
Oh, my God. Listen, I was seeing things. It was so awful, that game. I was seeing double. I was passing out watching it. That's how bad it was. I was literally seeing double.
It was a tough watch. Not going to deny that.
I love how these guys try to sell it, too, like it's the Super Bowl. I mean, they turn that thing in. The Sunday nights become a circus. Like that whole thing. Like that. The pregame show's a circus. That chick singing a song that takes 15 minutes is a circus. The whole thing, like you think it was the Super Bowl every Sunday. It's like, it's so painful. Just play the game. And honestly, the Football Night in America show is on for like 7 hours. And it's just painful. It really is.
It's a long pregame.
The only thing worse is Thursday night. That show, Thursday night, is literally, I thought abortion was banned everywhere. It's not. It's on Thursday Night Football. All you have to do is watch. Go watch. Everyone's got it. The abortion pill. Turn it on, Prime. You'll love it.
Yeah, they went with a different route with that crew on Thursday night. That's for sure.
Oh, my God.
They've got some different characters on there. But the Sunday night one does go on for a long time. It's a long pregame. And Collinsworth during the game.
How about the night when it was lightning in Pittsburgh last week, and they had to talk for like 2 hours? Oh my God! Listen, I'd rather be in jail.
You got to change it out. You can't stay with them. You got to go to You got to go watch something else at that point. You can't watch them for 2 hours. You can't stick with them.
It was the worst.
It's too much. It's too much. The public had a good day yesterday. I know we've had a lot of weeks here where we're talking about how all the big public bets got smashed. Not this week. Steelers, 81%, a winner. Lions, 81%, a winner. Bengals, 75%, a winner. Falcons, 75%, a winner. Bucks, Packers, Texans. A lot of green up there in terms of the most popular bets.
I hit every one of those except the Bengals.
Except the Bengals, indeed, as we get it done there. So big week for the public. Roger Goodell was over in London this weekend, of course, with the games. Says he has no doubt the NFL will play in Ireland in the future. And I've heard this as well. When there is a Dublin game, you know the Steelers will play in it. The Roonies want to play in Dublin if it ever goes there, as they should. Steelers at the Aviva in Dublin, Scotty. That's a road trip for you.
We need SportsGrid to send you and I to Dublin to drink beer and to party and go to the Steelers game. Honestly,
maybe they could petition to play the Bills, like Bills Steelers in Dublin. Like, how great would that be? You ever got that? Like the Bills and the Steelers
you
in
can wear
Dublin.
the blazer. I'll wear the terrible towel. I'll wear my Lambert jersey.
We got plenty of family there. We could shack up anywhere in Dublin. Whatever we got to do, we'll be good to go.
What was your soccer team again? What do they call it?
Well, in England, Huddersfield, Huddersfield Town in England. That's in the English side.
They should be in Belfast.
Yes. And Tom Brady expected to be approved as a minority owner of the Raiders, which I still don't understand. Like, we got to pick one here. Are we going to be an owner?
He's got to stop doing the
call the games. Well, are we going to call the games, or are we going to be an owner? Because they put that thing out before the season, that report that he's going to lose a lot of the access that the other analysts get because he's going to be an owner, like sitting in meetings with the other team and doing things like that. How do you do the job?
I think he's got to pull out of the broadcasting job and just be an owner. If he wants to own the Raiders with Mark Davis, then that's what he should do, and he should stop calling the games. He's not good at it anyway. Olsen's better. Everybody knows it. So why not save face and just get out now before it gets any worse?
I haven't been overly impressed through whatever this is, 6 weeks of him doing games. It'd be nice if he did someone else besides the Cowboys, by the way.
I don't watch. I watch the games on Red Zone. That's it. Everyone knows what channel to watch.
Unbelievable. All right, we have
or
YouTube Monday Night
with
Football.
the 4 games at once. That's even better.
Yes.
No one's watching Fox.
That's very good as well. We have Monday Night Football to finish Week 6 tonight at MetLife, or JetLife, as Aaron Rodgers always likes to call it. So back-to-back primetime nights over there at the Swamp in Jersey. We'll start with Rodgers, and then we'll do everything else after the break. Of course, Saleh chopped last week. Rodgers says, me and the rest of the team have a lot to do with that. We have to take some accountability for getting Robert fired.
You know, the idea of manifestation involves attention and intention, and then a word that goes along with that is accountability. You know, we need to be accountable to each other. When something like this happens, it's a reset for everybody. When you make a change on the offense, it's a mirror that's held up for all of us who played, and we all feel terrible about the opportunity that we had, that we squandered, that led to Robert getting fired and Hack getting demoted. I play better. This doesn't happen. We play better on offense. This doesn't happen. So I think it puts a spotlight on us, and now it's on us to do this. You know, we need to be accountable to each other, and we got to raise the level of our play to the standard that we set during training camp.
Yeah, great. Talk is cheap. This guy talks too much. He really does. He's on so many different shows. I can't keep track of all of his nonsense. He's not getting it done. How's that for a analyst?
I hope tonight he plays the same way he's played the last couple of weeks. I hope he plays just like that tonight. That'd be fine by me. Throw 2 or 3 picks. Just don't play that. That'd be great. I think he should do the same things that he's been doing tonight against the Bills.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
do a sliding DiVincenzo to the what? Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I do think they come back, and I think they win this game, but they've got to do it decisively. I think they've got to get that confidence back because they went out there, and like I said earlier, Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Kentucky almost did beat Ole Miss, and I think what you're going to see in this conference, if you don't play well and you're a top 10 team in the SEC, you're going to get knocked out by one of those top 25 teams in the SEC if you're not ready to play.
Powered by SportsGrid.
At the top of the hour, we'll talk to Jerry Allen, the legendary voice of the Oregon Ducks, after their big game against Ohio State Saturday night in Eugene. That was a great game. I watched every minute of it. But we're still talking about Monday Night Football right now. Josh Allen and the Bills come calling to East Rutherford to take on the problematic Jets. Problems in their franchise, in their locker room, at quarterback. Their offensive line, they fired their coach, Hackett got demoted. I mean, it never ends. It really is. It is the saga of the gangrene, and it's every year. It's not just now, it's every year.
Jet will always jet. Just remember that. Jet will always jet. That's for sure. As far as Josh Allen and the Bills go, Scotty, how about facing a team that just fired their head coach? Allen says, yes, could be some different things, but we've had our own problems the last couple of weeks, and that's what we really need to be worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough situation to be in, right? When a team fires their coach, because you're not sure how they're going to react to that. My sense is they're going to be prepared to go Monday night. So we're going to have to handle every shot that they throw at us and keep getting back up and moving forward. So have to have a great sense of urgency, get off to a hot start, and find ways, like I said, to stay on the field on third down and score touchdowns when we're down in the red zone.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I honestly don't believe they're going to be any different than who they are. They are who they are. They really are. Like, so now they got this guy Ulbrich, who nobody's ever heard of. I mean, he's been in the league 20 years. People still don't know who he is. And then their offensive play caller, no one on the face of the earth knows who that is. So you're telling me that now things are going to change and they're going to have some dramatic turnaround and they're going to be this fantastic outfit? I am not buying that at all. The Bills need to prepare for the Jets, the 2-3 Jets. That's who they need to prepare for, the team that can't get it done.
Like we said the other day, this is a very big swing here. The Bills have a chance to give themselves a lot of space in the AFC East. If they ever won this game and got to 4-2, everyone else would have 2 or less wins. And they would be in very good shape. They are 1.5-point favorites now. It was 2.5 most of last week, so it's gone down a point. Total's 41.5. Let's go Buffalo, Scotty. Let's go.
You know, I got to be honest with you. They remind me of the Steelers. They go into the game in the same boat. They had won 3 in a row, then they lost 2 in a row, and they have to win this game. The Steelers did it. They went out and they kicked the Raiders' ass. I don't know if the Bills are going to kick the Jets' ass, but they have to win the game. I really believe they have to win the game, and I'm on them.
Look, I'm with you. I don't think this is going to be like what they did to Miami that Thursday night game early in the year. I think this is going to be a close game down to the end. Gabe might have been right earlier. Maybe shade toward the under. 17-14, 17-13, somewhere in that area. I think it's going to be a bit of a physical blue-collar game. Most bet player props for tonight. Hall over 24.5 receiving yards. Bass over 1.5 field goals. I like that. Hall over 55.5 rush. Hall over 3.5 receptions. And Allen to throw a pick. Hall has done nothing.
Nothing.
In weeks.
All of those are
he's
dead
done nothing
drops.
in weeks. He's done nothing. So that doesn't make much sense to me.
I mean, they don't even run him, let alone throw to him. So all of those prop bets right there are disastrous.
They're not definitely not great.
I want
that's
your
for sure.
tutty picks. That's all that matters. All that garbage you just showed me is what everyone's going to do to lose tickets tonight. That's what that is.
And Allen has not thrown a pick yet this year, by the way, which is big for him in terms of not turning the ball over. Here's the tutties for tonight. Let's go. When the Bills get the backs against the wall a little bit and the offense sputters for a few weeks, there's usually one thing that Josh does, Scotty, to kind of get them back on track. He does it himself. And I think he's going to do a lot of that tonight. I think you're going to see a little bit more Allen running against the Jet D, and that means Allen down low. Cook is banged up. I know he's not going to play, but Cook is hurt. He's nursing an injury. Allen 7-1, first touchdown tonight to get things going for the Bills. Play him as an anytime as well. Garrett Wilson plus 175 for the Jets, and Kincaid plus 270 for the Bills. The tutties for tonight.
What, didn't you Thursday night sweep the board?
Thursday night, we swept the board.
Sweep it
again.
again.
3 out of three. I would love to sweep the board tonight. We get Allen first touchdown. Huge start to the night if we can get that.
Sweep the board again. Thursdays,
Mondays. Sweep the board right in.
Mondays.
And a Bills win. And a Bills win.
And a Bills win and a cover. Give me the cover.
He already has more than 1,000 yards. The last 3 running backs to win the Heisman, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Reggie Bush, did not have more than 650 in their opening 5 games of the year. Ashton Genty on pace to strike the pose in December.
Statistics matter. Blow every record out of the water, and he will be a Heisman. Disgraceful performance by the head coach, not genius.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dog?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the what? Obviously, Terrence Cheney Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I do think they come back, and I think they win this game, but they've got to do it decisively. I think they've got to get that confidence back because they went out there, and like I said earlier, Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Kentucky almost did beat Ole Miss, and I think what you're going to see in this conference, if you don't play well and you're a top 10 team in the SEC, you're going to get knocked out by one of those top 25 teams in the SEC.